Good day, everyone. I am Harleen Poli, and today I will discuss to you what is population and sample. And here is my learning outcomes. First, determine population under investigation. Second, identify a representative sample for the population under investigation. Third, recognize characteristics of a sample that may affect the accuracy of the results. But before that, I prepared something for you, and that is letter chart, wherein you will guess the word with the first letter and the hint that I provided. And you have 10 seconds to answer every item. So let's start. The first letter is P. A particular section, group, or type of people or animals living in an area. And the answer is population. Second is letter S. A representative part or a single item from a larger whole or group. And the answer is sample. Next, the letter is G. A coming together or a number of persons for a specific purpose. And the answer is gathered. The next is C. A mass or quantity that has piled up or that has been gathered over a period of time. And the answer is collect. The last item is letter R. Being or related to a set or to an element of a set, each of whose element has equal probability of occurrences. And the answer is randomly. So let's begin in our main discussion. And here is the question. What is population? In statistics, population is the entire set of items from which you draw data for a statistical study. It can be a group of individuals, a set of items, etc. It makes up the data pool for a study. Generally, population refers to the people who live in a particular area at a specific time. But in statistics, population refers to data on your study of interest. It can be a group of individuals, objects, events, organizations, etc. You use population to draw conclusions. An example of a population would be the entire student body at a school. It could contain all the students who study in the school at the time of data collection, depending on the problem statement. Data, data from each of the students is collected. An example is the students who speak English among the students of a school. For the situation, it is easy to collect data. The population is small and willing to provide data and can be contacted. The data collected will be complete and reliable. If you had to collect the same data from a larger population, you will say the entire country of Philippines. It would be impossible to draw reliable conclusions because of the geographical and accessibility constraints, not to mention time and resource constraints. A lot of data would be missing or might be unreliable. Furthermore, due to accessibility issues, marginalized tribes or villages might not provide data at all, making the data biased towards certain regions or groups. And the second one is the sample. So, what is sample? A sample is defined as a smaller and more manageable representation of a larger group. It is a subset of a larger population that contains characteristics of that population. A sample is used in statistical testing when the population size is too large for all numbers or observations to be included in the test. The sample is an unbiased subset of the population that best represents the whole data. To overcome the restraints of a population, you can sometimes collect data from a subset of your population and then consider it as the general norm. You collect the subset information from the groups who have taken part of the study, making data reliable. The results obtained for different groups who took part in the study can be extrapolated to generalize for the population. The example for this is the process of collecting data from a small subsection of the population and then using it to generalize over the entire set is called sampling. And samples are used when the population is too large to collect data. The data collected is not reliable. The population is hypothetical and is unlimited in size. Taking the example of a study that documents the results of a new medical procedure. It is unknown how the procedure will affect people across the globe, so a test group is used to find out how people react to it. And the sample should generally satisfy all different variations present in population as well as a well-defined selection criterion. Be utterly unbiased in the properties of the objects being selected. Be random to choose the object of study fairly. And since you are looking for a job in the IT section, so you search online for IT jobs. The first search result would be for jobs all around the world, but you want to work in Philippines. So you search for IT jobs in Philippines. This would be your population. It would be impossible to go through and apply for all positions in the listing. So you consider the top 30 jobs you are qualified for and satisfied and apply for those. And that is your sample. And let's differentiate what population and sample. And now let's try to understand what a sample and the population are with the help of suitable examples. In the population raw, all residents of a country would constitute the population set, while in the sample, all residents who live above the poverty line would be the sample. In the population, all residents above the poverty line in a country would be the population, while in the sample, all residents who are millionaires would make up the sample. In a population, all employees in an office would be the population, while in the sample, out of all the employees, all managers in the office would be the sample. So, for you to really understand the population and sample, I prepared another example. Example number one for the population is section of potato chips in the store. The second is the freshwater lakes and river. And the third example is students pursuing undergraduate degrees. And for the samples, 6 chips selected at random every 5 minutes. Second example, for sample taken from randomly selected and representative of lakes and river. And my last example for sample is 100 engineering students selected at random from engineering. And that would be all. I hope you learn from my simple discussion about sample and population. Thank you.